You know, Spain is really magical. I'm here in Cadiz, and this is where the Mediterranean meets the Atlantic Ocean. The city buzzes with beautiful plazas and parks lined with topiary and royal palms. One of the oldest trees sits in the center of this park. Spain is very special. You know, every time I come to Spain, I discover something new, something very special. And this is Cadiz, and it's where the Mediterranean and the Atlantic meet. The Cadiz Cathedral is a grand structure that sits on the point next to the beach. The beach is at the edge of the city, and it's where you can find fishermen who've returned with their boats with the freshest catch of the day. You know, around every corner in Spain is a new treasure. I'm here in Ronda, and I'm next to the new bridge, and this is a UNESCO heritage site, another UNESCO heritage site here in Spain. Ronda is also famous as a birthplace of modern bullfighting.
We are here in the Ronda's bull ring, one of the oldest bull ring in Spain. Ronda, being a city with 30,000 inhabitants, it has the oldest and one of the biggest bull rings in the country. So it's a really important thing for this city, this bull ring, and these special bullfightings that are done in September that are called Goyescas bullfighters. So this bull ring is called Real Maestranza de Caballería de Ronda, and is nowadays a bull ring and also a museum. It was built in 1785 and is one of the biggest, having 60 meters wide and 5,000 people that can fit inside. One of the most important or most famous bullfightings here is the Goyesca bullfighting that is done in September. It has two bullfightings. Pedro Romero, he was the one that in 19th century started with bullfighting on feet. We also have Ordóñez, Francisco Ordóñez. He was a bullfighter in the 50s. And he was the one that created the Goyescas bullfighting. In these bullfightings, the bullfighter dressed the way bullfighters used to be painted by Goya.
It's famous worldwide for its dramatic views and for the deep gorge. The Lara Museum offers a history of the town. Ronda is a very special city with many attractions. The cobblestone streets align with historic whitewashed buildings.
Ser poesía pura, ser palabra, para ascender en recto pensamiento.
There are many plazas and narrow cobblestone streets throughout the city. Ronda retains much of its historic charm, particularly in the old town.
Transmutando dolor en esperanza, con ternura en las manos en puntillas, secaré con amor tan dulces lágrimas.
All the visit will be inside the historical part. The city of Cordoba has been declared Heritage of the Mankind by UNESCO in 1994.
This is another bridge in Cordoba with a view of the modern city. This is Cordoba, and it's our first stop on the luxury train. Behind me is a very large mosque and cathedral. I love the combination of both. The interior is absolutely exquisite. The detail is impeccable. It's a UNESCO heritage site. I love this old bridge that leads to the old town of Cordoba.
The Cathedral of Cordoba, the old mosque, Al-Jama, means the biggest mosque in the Medina, in the Muslim city.
What a spectacular view of the exterior of the Grand Cathedral of Cordoba.
In a mosque, Qibla means orientation. You know, the main part of the mosque faced toward Mecca, Saudi Arabia. This mosque, never. And you have here at the top in this column, a statue dedicated to the Archangel San Rafael. Here in Cordoba, we have a special devotion for the Archangel San Rafael, better than the patron saints. In the lower part, you have two statues dedicated to San Acisclo and Santa Victoria. You know, pronunciation Acisclo is difficult even in Spanish.
This is our first stop on the Andalus train, and we're here in Cordoba, and behind me is the Grand Mosque and the cathedral. I am so excited about this trip because there's so much to see throughout the southern part of Spain. Cordoba's period of greatest glory began in the 8th century after the Moorish conquest, when some 300 mosques and innumerable palaces and public buildings were built. The building is most notable for its arcaded hypostyle hall, with 856 columns of jasper, onyx, marble, and granite. These were made from pieces of Roman temples which had occupied the site previously, as well as the other destroyed Roman buildings, such as the Merida Amphitheater. The double arches were a new introduction to architecture, permitting higher ceilings than would be otherwise possible with relatively low columns. The double arches consist of a lower horseshoe arch and an upper semicircle arch. The famous alternating red and white arches were inspired by those in the Dome of the Rock. These Moorish arches are in another area of the cathedral, so you have a mosque and a cathedral combined. The mosque also has richly gilded prayer niches. I love dining with my new friends in El Churrasco restaurant.
Descubierto en los ojos de mil estrellas, ya la inquieta primavera tensa sus riendas.
Casa Brigote restaurant is where they serve the freshest seafood, and it sits next to the beach. Now this is the coastline of Guadalquivir. I love this river cruise. This is back to nature. I'm here at the Doñana National Park, and the only way you can get here is by boat, up the river. This is the Doñana National Park.
Transmutando dolor en esperanza, con ternura en las manos en puntillas, secaré con amor tan dulce.
This is the Doñana National Park, and the only way you can get here is by boat.
My name is Mercedes Pedrosa. I'm one of the guides of the train Al-Andalus. This train goes all around Andalusia, making different stops in the main cities of the region. And in these stops, we do guided visits, guided tours. And one of these tours is the Alhambra tour, the place we are today. The Alhambra is a royal city built in 13th century and finished in 15th century. When I say finished, I mean conquered by Catholic kings, Fernando and Isabel in 1492. So all this area, all this scenery that you can see is this royal city run by the Nasrid dynasty. It was the last Muslim dynasty in Iberian Peninsula, running Granada's kingdom. So here we can see part of the walls of this city, and in my back we can see the Albayzin neighborhood. Albayzin neighborhood, it was the origin, the center of this kingdom, starting in 11th century. Until 13th century, this is the moment when Nasrid dynasty, they moved from Albayzin hill to this hill in where we are just now. And they built this marvelous royal city. In this royal city, you can see gardens, you can see palaces, like Nasrid palaces inside these walls, like a Generalife palace, just a little bit outside of the walls. Also, you can visit the fortresses, the Alcazaba. Also, you can visit the different gardens inside the walls. Many things make special this city. For example, the fact that Muslims, Christians, and Jews, they have lived since the 2nd century after Zero with the Jews and the Christians, and after Muslims after the 8th century, all living together until 15th century. That makes this region the ideal region or the ideal city to live in. Granada is also known because it's one of the centers or one of the original centers for the flamenco, together with Jerez de la Frontera and Seville. The origin here of the flamenco, we can find it in Sacromonte neighborhood, the cave-dwelling neighborhood, in the Zambras. The Zambras, they were the original cave dwellings, the original cave places where flamenco used to take place.
You know, we're continuing our journey on Al-Andalus, and what I love about it is the fact that we are learning. It's an educational experience, the culinary experience. I'm here in Granada, and this is the Metropolitan Cathedral. And you know, Granada is known for flamenco, and I can't wait till this evening to see these wonderful people perform. My experience on the Andalus train has been absolutely glorious and an eye-opening experience throughout the southern part of Spain. You only live once, so remember, get up, get out, and travel! The Andalus Luxury Train is an unforgettable, fabulous experience. Look forward to seeing you next week for another great destination. So long for now.
Andaram darandita, andaram